I've been saving up Christmassy treasures all year. Kindle, Audible, physical books, and I've been waiting to share them with you, and I'm gonna do that today. Hi, my name is Bea. Welcome to my channel. Mama needs to read romance and also wear ridiculous hats. I'm so excited to share these books with you today. I've been buying them little by little at used bookstores, book sales at the library, free little libraries, and then when Audible had a sale, snap these babies up and saving them for December. So let's talk about them. I'm gonna start with the books that I've never mentioned, and then at the very end, you might hear a book that I've already talked about. So just FYI. Let's start with one I got on my Kindle. It's not Kindle Unlimited, but it was free. I found this out through one of my fabulous online friends. It's the prequel in the Black Shear family series, A Christmas Gone Perfectly Wrong by Cecilia Grant, and it got a 3.84 on Goodreads. This is enemies to lovers, although I think they've just met each other, so I don't know how much they could be enemies, but it's also stranded in a snowstorm, which Avery of Ava's Romance Books just did a super video all about Stranded in a Snowstorm. Highly recommend. In any case, this book, Andrew Blackshear needs to purchase a hunting falcon, as we all do in time for the Christmas season. And it sounds really cool, actually. The falconer, because that's a thing, his daughter needs to be driven somewhere through the snow. So they're on one another's nerves, but they figure they're not going to be together very long, so it's not a big deal. However, they do, as I mentioned, get stuck in a snowstorm, so they have to work together and perhaps they even fall in love. Looks really cool and different. This book sounds crazy. I couldn't help myself but snatch it up. The Christmas Night by Michelle Sinclair. It got a 3.92 on Goodreads. So we've got, it's Christmas tide. This is a long, long time ago. We've got castles, we've got knights, obviously, hence the title. Three ladies are, they're sisters. They're stranded in their castle while their father is away. Meanwhile, a knight shows up. He's a bad guy. He's supposed to take over the castle. He's going to take the youngest daughter as his bride. Well, the eldest sister, Bronwyn, she's not going to let that happen. She loves her sister too much to allow her to marry this terrible, terrible knight who apparently has great biceps. Anyway, she pretends to be her little sister to spare her sister from having to marry this guy, this ugly, ugly guy. So anyway, he knows that Bronwyn is pretending to be the sister. And so I think he's even more impressed by her. He's going along with it, I think. But he's very intrigued by Bronwyn. What is going to happen? Really, seriously, what is going to happen? This book sounds crazy. Okay, so I read my first Mary Jo Putney recently. It was a Christmas novella, and I'm hooked on this woman. I loved her stepbacks, but now I'm all in terms of stories. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I grabbed a couple of her novellas at the big sale a couple months ago where I grabbed them for like $2.99. And I'll tell you about a couple right now. This is Sunshine for Christmas, a holiday novella. This is one of the secondary characters from her Rita Award-winning The Rake. Lord Randolph Lennox, who lost the gal in The Rake, has a second chance. He is in the doldrums. It's Christmas time. He decides to take a trip to the Mediterranean, winds up in Naples. And an English woman happens to be there. She's lived there for a while as a governess. He asks her if she would be willing to be his guide around Naples. And as she's taking him through Naples at Christmas time, they fall in love. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to try this. And it's only an hour and 50 minutes long. I got a 4.10 on Goodreads. The other Christmas novella that I nabbed for $2.99 in the Audible sale the other day is The Christmas Cuckoo, a 4.0 on Goodreads. This is another one that I'm absolutely, oh, you know what, I have to read this to you. Don't go anywhere, please. Just listen to this synopsis. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Major Jack Howard, a weary veteran of the Peninsular Wars, has just returned to England and intends to return to an unwelcoming family home for Christmas. But when a pompous secretary gives him too many orders, Jack hops on the next stagecoach leaving London, not caring where it's going. Too much whiskey to stave off freezing leaves him sleeping in a different inn. When an attractive young woman asks if he's Jack Howard, he happily goes home with her. Despite vile weather, Meg Lambert drives to the local inn to collect her brother's friend, Jack Howard. But since she's never met the man, she doesn't realize that she's brought home the wrong Jack Howard. Jack realizes her mistake when he awakes the next morning with an aching head, but he finds a warmth and welcome with Meg and her family that he's yearned for all his life. He can't bring himself to admit that he's a cuckoo in her nest. But what will happen when Meg's brother and the right Jack Howard turn up for Christmas? What will happen? I have to know. I just nabbed this at a book sale last weekend. A Christmas Promise by Mary Balog. I think that's how you pronounce it. Jen of the Book Refuge was talking about her the other day in one of her videos, mentioning how she's not overly scandalous, basically. And I thought, I've been reading a lot of more on the scandalous side, so I wanted something a little bit more light in intensity. So I was excited. I like to try all kinds of things. So I really wanted to try this author. So this book got a 3.7 on Goodreads, and this seems pretty straightforward. This is actually a rather slim book too, just under 300 pages. Actually, that doesn't sound very slim. But anyway, we have the daughter of a coal merchant who is new money, so to speak. And then we have a rake who's got his designs on many women, has zero interest in this woman, but he needs her money and her dowry. So they decide to get married. She's actually interested in a poor man her father is never going to let her be with. So she decides just to follow her father's wishes and marry this guy. Well, apparently they fall madly in love despite the fact that they had zero interest in one another. And it sounds cute and hopefully Christmassy as well. Has anyone seen Virgin River on Netflix? If you have, then you might be interested in this book by Robin Carr. She is the author of the Virgin River series. I guess the series is based on her books. This is actually book 14 in the series. It's quite the series, very large. This got a 4.19 on Goodreads. I don't know if they get stuck in snow, but they're stuck together again. Forced proximity. This is the second one we're seeing. And how many books have I mentioned? Like 4 or 5? So Becca is trying to get over Denny, who broke her heart, has zero interest in him. Apparently he's friends with her brother though. So she goes up to Virgin River to be with them at Christmas time, and Denny is there. I don't know if she knew that when she arrived, but they all get stranded, and I guess they have to face the feelings that they may still have for each other. Looks really interesting. I got this in a free little library way back when. So cool. A Goodreads score of 4.01. This is number 7 of the Whiskey Creek series. This is fairly straightforward. She runs a bed and breakfast. Everybody else around her is happily married and having kids and all that good stuff. And she just feels like in her little town, she's never going to find happiness because she knows everybody there, until a handsome stranger shows up at her B&B. And then magic happens. Christmas magic. That's what I get out of this anyway. I got this for $1 at a used bookstore. I was very, very excited. I still haven't read my first Sabrina Jeffries yet, and maybe this will be it. 'Twas the Night After Christmas. It's number 6 in the Hellions of Halstead Hall series, and it's a 3.95 on Goodreads. This book sounds really interesting. I know I'm saying that about all of them, but this is very different. So he never wants to come home for Christmas again. Apparently he's had very bad Christmases in his past, and he is told by someone from his home that his mother is ill. So he comes home to find Camilla, and it's a ruse. His mother is actually fine. They just all wanted him to come home to reconcile with the family, and maybe Camilla, I'm not quite sure, but he says he's got some stipulations if he's going to stay. And maybe one of those stipulations is they need to fall in love. It looks really interesting and quite good. All right, I know I keep saying this, but this one looks really crazy. You may have seen this in my book hunt when I was at a used bookstore. Grabbed this for $3. One Day in December by Josie Silver, not to be confused with Elsie Silver. This one got a 3.89 on Goodreads. We see a woman who is in love. Wait, this is confusing. Lori sees a man on a bus. I'm not sure if she's on the bus or he's on the bus. Somebody's on a bus. I think she's on the bus. Okay, so anyway, she sees him through the bus window and realizes he's the one. She just knows. It's love at first sight. And this book follows 10 years worth of Decembers where she meets with him. And do they end up together? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they have other loves as well. But the next time she sees him after spending so much time looking for him, do you know who he's with? One of her best friends. Oh my gosh. Intrigue, scandal. What's going to happen? I'm very curious. So I got this at a library sale for 50 cents after I got it on Audible because I was so excited. This is Highland Airs book 5. I love Paula Quinn. Well, I love her Children of the Mist series. I'm trying to like her Highland Airs series. We're working on it. But this is book 5. We have Temperance. She is nursing a man back to health. She found him in the woods. It turns out this guy is the Black Rider. He is like a killer for hire, essentially. And he's coming to terms with that and what he's become as he's being nursed back to health by her. And he's also falling for her. So it looks like it could be really neat. If you enjoy a good nursing back to health, this might be the perfect Christmas book. book for you. I got this book for 75 cents at a book sale. And then I also got it for $2.99 on Audible. During their sale. So I was really lucky because I've only read one story so far from Mary Jo Putney's and I fell head over heels in love. I have a vlog coming out about that, or maybe it's out already, but Mary Jo Putney, oh my gosh, so good. So the first story I've read in this one is just heaven. I'm hoping that all the rest are just as good. These seem like older type romance writers from the older school, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So a lot of good Christmassy romance vibes. And it got a 3.79 on Goodreads. Oh wait, there's more. Mischief and Mistletoe, the exact same ladies. You probably saw me mention this in my December TBR. I haven't had a chance to read any of these yet because this month is crazy. This one got a 3.62 on Goodreads, so not quite as highly rated as the Last Chance Christmas Ball. So if you were gonna go for one of these, probably go for this one. Whitney of Tibera's Den and I are going to be buddy reading this. I think we're starting next week, right, Whitney? It's a smaller, slimmer book. It's the first book in the Friday Harbor series by Lisa Kleypas. I'm hoping to like this better than the Travis's series. I love all historical romance, Lisa Kleypas, pretty much. Lisa Kleypas' contemporary romance and I have not always seen eye to eye. So this is the first book in the series, as I said, which is kind of an interesting decision to start your series with a Christmas book. It got a 3.76 on Goodreads. It looks like it's going to be emotional, but cathartic, honestly, ultimately. We have a little girl named Holly. She's 6 years old. Her mother passed away. The mother left in her will that she wanted her brother to take Holly. So he's a single guy. He's a single dad trying to figure out what on earth to do with Holly, trying to get over the loss of his sister when they meet a woman named Maggie, who is still reeling after the passing of her husband about a year earlier. She owns a toy shop. And so we find 3 people that are in need of some serious connection and Christmas magic. And it sounds like this book will deliver on both of those things. Really excited to start this next week. Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward wrote this one. Slade. It's a collection of short stories. I could not pass this up. And do you know how I found it? I am so in love with the narrator, Zachary Weber. And I do like Teddy Hamilton. And I also like Andy Arndt. So when I found out all 3 of them were going to be in one audiobook, I had to grab it. So I used my credit and I'm really looking forward to this. It got a 3.94 on Goodreads and I'm excited to try out a new romance author and have some more Christmas fun. Another anthology that I grabbed, I used a credit for this one because I really wanted it and I kept trying to get it at the library and they never had it when I wanted it. How the Dukes Stole Christmas. It has Sarah McLean and Tessa Dare. I mean, how am I going to pass that up? Joanna Shoup, I've heard a lot of great things about. Sophie Jordan, I don't know really, but I'm excited to try her out. This looks like a tremendous anthology. I'm excited to listen to it. I already did a vlog on the Eloisa James book. One of my online friends mentioned that the Erica Ridley is also quite good, so I'm gonna have to check that one out too. I'm really enjoying this anthology. I love Eloisa James. I'm not familiar with the rest of these authors, but that's why I love anthologies. It gives you a chance to get a sense of somebody's writing style when you don't know them yet, so you can see if they're a good fit. Speaking of anthologies I've covered for Vlogmas, I also purchased this. I have read Lisa Kleypas and Lorraine Heath. That was my first Lorraine Heath. Loved it. I enjoyed this, but it was really wacky and interesting. You could check out my vlogs and see what I'm talking about. Megan Frampton, Vivian Loren are new to me, but I'm looking forward to trying them out. This has been a wild, wacky, and wonderful anthology. Very Christmassy, very romantic, very bonkers. Talking about that first story at Lisa Kleypas. I got a 3.58 on Goodreads. My last offering is something you've heard me talk about already, probably, either in a vlog or my TBR for December, When She Was Naughty. I got it for 99 cents on Kindle, and I loved it. It actually had another Christmas short story she wrote in a blog in 2012, as well as the first chapter of The Governess Game, which is book 3 in Girl Meets Duke, which is a series I'm very much falling in love with right now. I really enjoyed this short story, and it was worth every 99 pennies. I could just say it worth every penny. It got a 3.88 on Goodreads. Well, those were my books. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had a really great time. I hope you're having a great holiday season and that you're enjoying whatever it is that you're reading, whether it's Christmassy or not. If you have enjoyed this or any of my videos, consider subscribing. It's free and it helps my channel out. And on that note, I will wish you a very Merry Christmas. Take care. Bye.